Hello, everybody. My name is Sarah Ward, formerly Sarah Willis. I recently got married and moved across the country to be with my soulmate, Charles, and I am in the state of wedded bliss. I'm happy to be back with everyone. How is everybody doing? I pray you all are doing well. Today I wanted to share this video called My One Huge Regret in Using San Pedro or Huachuma and ayahuasca to recover from borderline personality disorder and bipolar disorder type 2. So let's just jump into it. But before I do, before I share my one huge regret, I want to share all the positives that these medicines, these sacred plant spirit medicines, have done for me to recover from the mental illnesses I had. All right, so the first one was my intention in using these medicines was suicidal ideation. I struggled with suicidal ideation for most of my life, and that was the biggest intention I had when using these medicines, was to heal from that, and it absolutely did. It's been nearly a decade now, and suicide has not crossed my mind once, which is huge, because like I said, for most of my life it was something I constantly struggled with, and it was really horrible. So yeah, that is gone. Hallelujah. The second one is depression. I remember thinking to myself before I used these medicines, I'll accept that, I might have depression for my whole life, but I just can't deal with these suicidal thoughts anymore. But that has cleared up as well. I'm no longer depressed at all. I've been sad here and there or felt remorse, but definitely not depression. I can fairly confidently say that I will probably never feel depression ever again as long as I live. I just feel, I don't really know how to describe it. I want to say I'm not a match for it anymore. Maybe that's true, but I cannot fathom even feeling depressed anymore. It doesn't really make sense to me anymore. I'm totally recovered from that. So I no longer have any depression at all. And 3, this is something I noticed right away when I used the medicine. I struggled with insomnia for all those years, the same amount of time that I had suicidal ideation. And I was on sleep medication for more than 2 decades of my life. And I remember when I came home from the ceremonies, I went to sleep. And from then on afterwards, I just had no trouble falling to sleep anymore. And usually it would take me anywhere from an hour to 3 or 4 hours to fall asleep. And I was constantly running late and pushing the snooze alarm over and over again. And now I don't even use an alarm, which is pretty wild. I'm like a farmer. I go to sleep and rise with the sun. So, as the sun's getting ready to set, I'm dozing off. And I wake up before the sun rises. So very often I see the sunrise. That's a pretty common thing for me to see, is the sun rising, which is amazing. I never thought that I would ever be like that. I never thought I would not need an alarm or need sleep medication. So that's huge. I no longer have insomnia. The next one I have on my list is addiction, and I guess to be more specific, I had a love anxious attachment style, or what I call the love addict. I was a sex addict or a love addict, and I went from relationship to one night stand to one on and on and on to fill this void inside myself that only God could fill, and I suppose to fix everything. I thought that it would just fix everything, but that's completely healed. I was single for a long time before I got married to Charles, my soulmate. So yeah, I no longer have that addiction. And to get more specific into that, it totally healed and obliterated my trauma bond. This effect didn't happen until 2 years after my ceremonies. So I think that's really cool that not only do you have immediate benefit, but the medicine keeps on working. But yeah, 2 years after that, the trauma bond was completely obliterated. For those of you who don't know what a trauma bond is, it's a trauma response. It occurs when a person bonds or forms a relationship or connection as a trauma response. Um, and you won't find this online, but more accurately, I had a trauma bond with the Jezebel spirit, or with the narcissistic personality disordered person. It wasn't really a person I had a trauma bond with, it was whoever had that spirit. So I was trauma bonded to the Jezebel, spirit, to basically the devil. I basically had a trauma bond to that. And it totally, specifically ayahuasca, the medicine ayahuasca, it totally freed me from that. I'm totally not a match to narcissists anymore. I'm totally repelled by them. The trauma bond is gone. Gandhi. This is another one. I'm really surprised that this happened. Loneliness. I used to struggle with chronic feelings of loneliness, like so bad that sometimes when I had to be alone, I felt like the walls were closing in on me. I felt like I couldn't breathe. And it's really funny. The opposite is true for me now. Now when I'm all alone, I feel this vast expansion and presence, holy presence of God. And I just never feel alone, even when I am alone. When I'm alone, it's actually my most favorite time. I don't know, I can't really explain it, but my world just expands and I love it. I love it when I have the moments where I'm alone. It's great. Next thing is polarized. God was trying to show me this before the medicine ceremonies, that I was polarized in my feminine or omega or yin energy, whatever you want to say, but I was polarized in that. And these medicines help me balance. So I'm now alpha and omega, or I'm now yin and yang. I'm now feminine and masculine. That also explains why I'm no longer a match to a narcissist. And if you want me to elaborate further on that, I can. But mental illness is usually polarization of the polarities. So either, a narcissist is someone who's polarized in their alpha or masculine or yang energies. And I was the opposite. I was an Ahab spirit, or I was polarized in my omega or feminine. And these medicines totally change that, which is why I'm also a match to Charles now. I'm balanced, so I'm more matched to him, because he's omega dominant as well, just like me. The next one is discernment. It greatly enhanced my discernment, my intuition, my inner teacher. It made that voice so much louder, whereas before, because I had the trauma bond, I almost had inverted discernment. I would trust people who were not trustworthy. I remember too, even watching like heist movies or movies that had like a thriller element, I never really knew who the bad guy was, because I was raised by a bad guy or a bad girl. So yeah, my discernment was way off. I couldn't discern something at all. Like I couldn't discern my way out of a paper bag before. Where now I'm not perfect, but I'm super sharp. My intuition has been greatly enhanced, and it's such a blessing to move through life with that discernment under your belt or with you all the time. The last one I have, and I can go on and on and on, but I don't want to make this video too short. But yeah, I can't even really go on to social media anymore. It's almost like things that were not serving me, I'm not able to do those things anymore. Yeah, going on social media is kind of like looking at the sun. So I have a lot more hours to myself because I don't go there anymore. But anyway, I can go on and on and on. But plant spirit medicine resets the neural pathways in the brain, allowing a Control-Alt-Delete on your mind, body, and soul. And this resetting of your neural pathways puts you on your path. So I'm on my path because of these medicines. They saved my life. And this is clickbait. This video is clickbait. For those of you who might have figured that out. My one regret in using these sacred plant spirit medicines, ayahuasca and Huachuma or San Pedro, is I didn't commune with them sooner. I didn't use them sooner, and that's mainly because I hadn't hit rock bottom yet. But that's my one huge regret, that I wish I had done these medicines or used these medicines when I was 18 or 20 or 25 or even 30. And mainly because I have a daughter, and I think I would have been, not that I was a terrible mother, she's grown up now, but, and on her own, but I just think I could have been a better mother for her in those years when I was still struggling with borderline. I could have not had borderline, I could have been a better mother to her. When I healed, she was 13, so I did spend a little bit more of her upbringing as a healthy person. But that's my one huge regret, that I didn't use these medicines sooner. I just really feel like I wasted time. But I didn't know these medicines exist. And like I said, I didn't hit rock bottom, so I didn't go looking for them. All right, so I'm going to try to upload this video to YouTube. We'll see if it works. I'm using my phone this time. Thanks for watching this video. I'll put my email address down below if you have any questions. And if you have any comments or questions, you can put that down in the comment box. I love you all very much, and I can't wait to start uploading more regularly. God bless you. Bye-bye.